All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our 2022 Chamber membership meeting. We're going to go over items from this last year, talk about what we're expecting here in 2022 as if we can actually figure that out. Well, as we saw from the last 2 years, it's been a moving target. So we're going to go ahead and share a screen here. All right, everybody able to see that? Great. And we change the I want to make sure that we actually see the speaker view here. 1 second. Of course, they change things around once. All right. Well, welcome everybody to, again, our 2022 annual membership meeting. There we go. So as some of you know, Edmonds Chamber is an independent nonprofit. We've been serving Edmonds since 1907, now in our 115th year, just keeps adding up. Very proud to be leading this organization since 2014 and looking forward to what we can do this year. If you don't know, our mission is promoting the economic vitality of Edmonds through advocacy, leadership, education, and community building events. And our vision is to be a recognized and respected, influential, and essential voice in the greater Edmonds community. And we're constantly working at that goal. And all of you are part of that and help us to achieve. So we're going to hand this over to Erica Barnett, who's our incoming board chair. She'll talk about the board of directors for 2022 and a couple other items. Erica.
Thanks, Greg. All right, well, welcome everybody to our annual meeting here for 2022. Thank you all for joining. As Greg has shared, our new executive committee meeting is consistent of the following folks: myself as chair. We've got Ms. Ann Penny as our first vice chair. Mr. Dustin Gross is our second vice chair. Ava Dubno is our treasurer. Ralph Sanders is our secretary, and Mr. Rob Schwertley, why can't I say your name wrong, is our past chair and our fearless entertainer. He's got extra skills that go beyond what your average board of directors. I will not be doing fun impersonations as Robert has. He's also led this group through what was a very weird year last year in 2021 for a lot of our businesses and business owners. And he and Nancy, as our what was past chair last year, have really helped us maintain course and speed and ensured that the Chamber of Commerce still exists, even though all of our fundraising events for the last couple of years have been either canceled or upended. And so ensuring we came up with creative ideas like the Edmonds Kind of Hero and those other activities which have enabled the chamber to remain a viable entity for our local community. So thank you all for all the work that you've done over the past year. We greatly appreciate it. As you can see to the right, the rest of our Intrepid board of directors are listed here. I won't necessarily list off everyone's name, but as you can see, we have a great board, and we do still have some open positions. If you are interested in becoming a member of the board of directors, please do let us know, and we can follow up with you rather on the details for that. I think I've already done my special thanks, Greg, but yes, again, Rob and Nancy, you guys have done an outstanding job. When I first interviewed for the board, I met with Nancy and Marilla and was completely impressed by both of them and their dedication to the chamber, in addition to everything that they do in their professional and personal lives. And I have thoroughly enjoyed my time getting to know everyone on the executive committee a bit more. And I am so excited that we have Alicia and Erica back. Both went out on maternity leave as almost like twinsies at the same time. So they were both out, and Greg was left to man the house on his own for several months. And now both of them miraculously have decided to come back. They love doing the work within this community so much, and we are so thrilled that they've come back to continue to support us as we move forward in 2022. And I don't know, Greg, if there's a slide for this, but I did want to call out what our focus for this year is. As I mentioned, with the majority of our fundraising historically coming from those large scale events. And then when those were canceled, we realized that we have kind of a risk factor in having our income almost solely reliant on like large group gatherings. So we have decided to focus this year a bit more on increasing our membership. And it will cover off on a number of what had been previous work streams that the chamber had around diversity and expansion and a number of other things. And making sure that the community understands who we are, what we're for, and can best utilize us as a business owner for networking, support, and other fundamental business needs. So we're going to be focusing a lot on driving up our membership. We have a number of businesses within Edmonds that are yet untapped, a number of different communities, particularly the folks along the 99 corridor, that we have not reached out to in an effective way to get them to become members of the chamber. They will add diversity of voices and different types of businesses to the Chamber of Commerce, which I think will be greatly appreciated and kind of help us round out our overall understanding of the needs and the best way we can support businesses across Edmonds. So there's a membership committee drive that is being led by the board members, and each of them will be sharing kind of individual business segments. So if you have thoughts on ways in which we could recruit additional businesses, whether they're within your industry or within your commercial park that you happen to be a part of, if you're a physical business, do let us know. We're putting together kind of more of that walking deck, talking points about what are the benefits for being a chamber member, so that we have that elevator pitch that we can give to businesses so that they do understand what you'll get out of it. Largely speaking for myself and my business, being a part of what makes Edmonds great, which makes people want to come here, shop here, stay here. A lot of the events that we put on are for the community. The city gets a lot of credit for those events, but honestly, it's the local business owners. It's all of you that make this possible, whether it's the tree lighting festival or the trick-or-treating or the 4th of July, all of those things that, you know, newspapers write about regionally about how great Edmonds is. It's this group here that makes that happen. And that's what makes Edmonds a great place to live and work. And so I want to thank all of you for your continued contributions to our local community. And we're just hopeful that we can get more people to join us over the course of the year.
Thank you, Erica. And I want to echo the sentiment of having staff back. It was pretty much a year that we were without Alicia and Erica due to the maternity leave, but it also paired exactly with the start of the pandemic, and then we had to move into furlough. So happy, ecstatic to have them back. And we'll be moving on and having Erica talk now.
Thanks, Greg. So from Erica to Erica. And I do want to kind of expand on what Erica was saying with the membership drive. It has been a challenging couple of years for so many, including membership driven organizations like our chamber. So I want to echo the thanks to everybody who put incredible effort into the fundraising with the Edmonds Kind of Hero campaign in 2020, and also want to mention the generous support of our premium members, who you can see listed here. I won't read through all of them, but I do want to give a special shout out to our platinum members, DME CPA Group, Windermere Real Estate, Fortive, Edmonds Yacht Club, and the Trike Stop. And then, of course, just to all of our business, nonprofit, and individual members who've maintained their membership through all of the uncertainty of their past 2 years. Thanks to all of you, we're still here to offer valuable programming and services to the Edmonds business community. In addition to our premium and standard business members, you may know, and some of you are, nonprofit organizations. We have 35 of those on our membership rolls. And then we have 45 individual and family or pet members. And these are folks who join the Edmonds Chamber to support our mission and contribute to our beloved community events. Many of them also volunteer at our events or volunteer at the log cabin. And some are also, like you, business members who join as an individual in addition. So that's one way we can also grow our membership base. If you know of people who appreciate the events that we put on and want to support that, then let them know of the individual and family membership option, please. Another fun fact, we are very much a small business chamber. Businesses with fewer than 6 employees make up over 50% of our membership base. And if you include nonprofits in that, it's 60%. So we're really proud to serve so many great businesses and organizations in and around Edmonds, and we would also delight in bringing in more of them into the mix. So as you heard, we're focused on growing our membership this year and welcoming more into the vibrant and supportive community. We'd love your help. And I want to expand a little bit on what Erica was saying about why it would be beneficial to grow our membership, not just for the chamber and resources, but for all of you. So several reasons why we'd love your help. First, and maybe most obvious, is that more membership equals more resources for the chamber's operations. Our operations are funded by dollars that members invest in the chamber. We do our best to fulfill our mission of promoting the economic vitality of Edmonds through leadership, advocacy, education, and community building events. But we love to dream about how much more we could do with more resources. And then networking is another big reason. The larger one's network is, the greater the opportunities. Much of what we as staff try to do is provide opportunities for people to connect and then just stand back and let the magic of networking play out. I often say that one of my favorite moments in this job is listening to the shout outs and referrals segment of our networking breakfast. You really get a sense of the community that has been built through just the simple and consistent act of showing up, sharing about your work, asking others about theirs, just getting curious and making connections. So this is also a plug to please attend some of our networking events if you haven't yet. The breakfast might be early, but you won't regret coming. And the point I'm trying to make is that the larger your network, the greater your opportunities. So please help us grow this network. And lastly, and I think most importantly, is that more members means more ideas, more diversity of viewpoints and experiences, which will just make our organization stronger and help us find new and creative ways to fulfill our mission. So hopefully all of you as members already are aware of the many benefits and opportunities a membership affords. If you aren't, please call me or Greg or Alicia, we can talk about it. We would be so grateful if you just take that awareness and share it with anyone who might be interested in joining the chamber. And if you or others want to support through an individual membership, keep that in mind too. We're looking forward to a great year ahead of growth, connection, and innovation and fun, and want to remind all of you that we're here for you. So please consider us a resource for whatever might come up for you. We might not have all the answers right away, but we usually know someone who might. And, you know, part of that network thing I mentioned. So Greg, thanks for letting me have the mic. Yes, there's one more thing we wanted to introduce. Some of you may have noticed that we have a bit of a new mascot who kind of made his appearance late last year. This is Seymour the Seagull. He was actually the model for the Edmonds kind of day bumper sticker many years ago, and he decided to come back and have his retirement in Edmonds. It's kind of more or less done with his modeling days officially, but he did agree to let us take some pictures of him out and around town in Edmonds, supporting member businesses. And so hopefully you guys are enjoying seeing him around town. We're going to keep that up through the year and use it as an opportunity to kind of showcase, highlight who our members are and show appreciation in that way. it's kind of part of a bigger effort in general for us to have a more robust social media presence and activity with our members online, especially at a time when it's hit or miss how much we can do in-person stuff. A lot of networking and exposures, of course, happening online and in social media. So if you're not already following Edmonds Chamber of Commerce on Instagram and Facebook, please do. And please, comment and like photos and just in general, find other chamber members on social media, connect with them, interact with them, and let's all keep supporting each other.
Thank you, Erica. So kind of some of the big stuff is how did we make it through 2021? It was another year of uncertainties, and a lot of what we do was really dependent on how open the economy was, how open the ability to hold events was. So kind of one of the big changes for 2021 over 2020 was the return of our 2021 events. As most of you recall, the governor at the end of May announced that come July 1st, the state would be allowing for larger gatherings and a loosening of restrictions. And our event calendar for the year, we'd already had to cancel the clam chowder cook-off for February. But that one that was hanging out there that we just had no idea if it was going to happen, had not started planning on it, was the 4th of July. So with the governor's announcement, foolhardy as it was, Alicia and I, who were the only two here in the office, planned and put together the 4th of July celebration in 4 weeks. For context, it's normally a minimum of 5 to 6 months of planning in order to make that event happen. I can't say enough great things about our members, the community who stepped up, helped us fill the parade, helped us fill all the volunteer slots. In time of difficulty, we're still able to find and secure sponsors for these events that enable them to happen. The only other ones, the candidates forum, that was canceled. And then we had to modify the Halloween event as COVID case numbers from Delta were still there, and putting 6,000 to 8,000 small kids and families into a crowded street just didn't seem like the right action at that time. And so instead, we reached out to our member businesses, found who was willing to accept trick-or-treaters throughout the week of Halloween, and did a kind of week-long distributed trick-or-treat event, still trying to provide the kids some kind of fun, provide some exposure for the businesses. And then we moved our Halloween costume contest online and got pretty good participation in that. Of course, finished off with the tree lighting ceremony, which was well received and a good time for all. So special thanks to our sponsors, to those who stepped up. It was, for most people, their budgeting cycle is not a month from an event. So we're very appreciative of those who dug deep and helped to make these things happen. Another big reason we made it through 2022 was finally being able to apply for the PPP loans. I know many businesses got those in 2020. However, not-for-profits like the Chamber were a 501c6. We're not eligible until the beginning of 2021. And special thanks to Jeff King at Coastal, who took on and got us approved and processed. That was a big factor in Alicia starting back in March. And then second props to Jeff, who towards the middle to end of May reached out and said, hey, you can take another stab at the PPP loan. However, Coastal wasn't able to process anymore. He did get us connected to WSECU, and we were able to get a second PPP loan, which then helped to facilitate Erica's return in July. So thank you, Jeff. Thank you to our community for helping. We're so used to helping other people. It's nice when it comes back. Another way we made it through is you, our members. The premium memberships, which started in 2020, have continued to go strong. And we had a pretty robust joining of new members through 2021, people who were starting new businesses or trying to find new ways to market as they're coming out of 2020. So you're also a very big part of how we got through this past year. Then lastly, the return of in-person networking. We brought the chamber breakfast back twice a month versus the 4 times a month that it used to be. and now at the Edmonds Yacht Club, where in the past it was up at Fairwinds Brighton Court. So very, very much appreciated to the Yacht Club for allowing us to start meeting there in person again. We ran the in-person networking July through December, and unfortunately with the Omicron increase, we've gone back to virtual, at least for January, February, with a hope to return back to the in-person in March. So keep an eye on the list of upcoming speakers. If you haven't spoken yourself, reach out to Erica and get yourself on the calendar. It's a very easy opportunity to kind of be seen and get your story across. And Erica's also helped to facilitate making sure that we're still hybrid. So if you're still not comfortable going out in person, we do have the hybrid option. Makes it a little bit more cumbersome when we're doing those in person, but definitely appreciated by those who can't attend in person. So if you've got ideas on anything, please do reach out, let us know. We're happy to add it to the mix and try to bring more things to our members. So we're going to move it on here to Alicia, who, with the 4th of July coming up, and as many of you know, we produce the entire 4th of July. We do the parades, the 5K, the 1K, and fireworks. Part of the issue with the fireworks is that our typical location, which is Civic Field, is under construction, and the ability to shoot those fireworks from the land is hampered for 2022. And so one of the options that does exist is shooting them over the water off of a barge. So in an effort to try to survey our community and see people's thoughts, feelings on fireworks in general, Alicia put together a survey, and just going to go through here with you on the results.
Hello, everyone. Alicia Moreno, your event coordinator and donor relations concierge. Yes, as Greg mentioned, our events, the 4th of July especially, is an event that is for the community. And so as we're looking at all of our different options and ideas for how to handle fireworks this year, we figured we'd at least, touch base and kind of get the feels on the community for the different ideas that we have. Keep in mind, please, no decisions have been made. We are still very much in the research and finding out, if these are even an option to us, but we just wanted to get feelers out from the community before we dug too deep and put too many resources into any one option. So this survey ran from January 5th through the 19th, and we posted it on Facebook and Instagram a couple times, and it was in the weekly newsletter, and my Edmonds News and the Beacon also ran articles on it. So we had a total of 615 replies. And the first question, if it is an option, are you interested in fireworks produced over the water? As you can see, the overwhelming majority, 77%, said yes, we are interested if that is an option. So good to know. Number 2, if it is an option, are you interested in a small, they're very expensive, drone or laser light show instead of fireworks? Majority of folks said no, we're not. Number 3, and how much does having fireworks in Edmonds even really matter to you? Help us inform how much energy our limited capacity of staff should be putting into this. A good third said meh, I'd be mildly disappointed, but I'll find other ways to celebrate. And a close second, another third, said I would be devastated if the fireworks didn't happen in Edmonds on the 4th of July. So that is good for us to know. And the last question, would you be able and willing to donate money to ensuring that there is some sort of a show? And this was pretty evenly split among yes, no, or not sure. So that was also just kind of a way to plant a seed in folks' minds that it's an option to help us out and make sure that something happens. So thank you to those folks who participated in the survey and shared it out. And if you didn't hear about it, didn't see it, make sure to read your weekly newsletter because we put that in there. So yeah, that's that. And, just a reminder, again, nothing has been decided. We are still very much in the research and kind of building what's possible. So with events, as Greg mentioned, come sponsorship opportunities. You can see here, these are the events that we have planned for the rest of the year. And you can always reach out to me if you are interested in finding out more about sponsoring any of these events. As we saw with the tree lighting ceremony a few months ago, not only are community members very excited for opportunities to gather and celebrate, but businesses are excited as well to have our beloved events as an option to be visibly supporting. I am working on sponsorship packages to make it easy and clear to see exactly what the options are for different events. So keep an eye out. They'll be posted on our website under the events tab shortly, but you are always welcome to reach out to me and find out more. So as you are finalizing your 2022 giving budgets, please do keep us in mind as an awesome way to show the community that you're invested in maintaining these events in our community. And another great project that we are working on, we just found out in December that we were awarded a contract with Washington State L&I to serve as an official outpost for information and resources, and as a hopefully less kind of intimidating space to ensure that you are in compliance with all of L&I's safety and workers' comps and all of that stuff. So we'll be officially launching this project in early March. We're still in the ramp up phase. We just finished getting trained from L&I, and we're now in the process of gathering all of the information from L&I's, gigantic bank of resources that is really most pertinent to our Edmonds community of very small businesses, right? We don't have a large agriculture community, and we don't have a ton of big construction companies. So there's some stuff that just can get weeded out. So we're working on compiling all of that information and working on putting together some workshops and trainings and some online resources that are a little easier to navigate and understand, and again, that make more sense for our community businesses. So you can see here how the chamber can help. These are ways that we are planning on utilizing this L&I contract to really serve not only our business members, but our business community at large at a more in-depth level. So you don't need to be a member to access our L&I services. We're really just grateful to be able to provide this service to all of our Greater Edmonds businesses. So stay tuned for that. And next picture, Greg. Yes, so we just put all of our, I went through the whole library of different brochures and paperwork and stuff and ordered a bunch for our office. So we have some of the most relevant kind of worker brochures and posters and stuff in our office that you're welcome to stop in and pick up. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll be doing some press releases and putting it in our newsletter. We are officially ready to conduct ourselves as an L&I outpost.
As you'll see in that display, there's a business card rack. We've got a lot of space. We're slowly starting to collect our members' business cards as an additional way to get those out in the community. So feel free to stop by the office, drop off cards. Some people have got cards that we've had for a while, and maybe it's old information. So very helpful to get those. It's a great way for us to refer and for people to pick up when they do come visit and learn about different aspects of the community. Thank you, Alicia. Moving on, so Edmunds Cash we launched at the end of 2020. It's still kind of a bit of a hidden secret. It's a community gift certificate program that enables somebody to buy, give a certificate that has to be used in Edmonds. It's not a credit card that you can use and buy stuff online with, anywhere in the world. It's really a resource to ensure that the dollars that are invested into that gift certificate stay here. So it's a great way to force people to come to Edmonds if they're from out of the area, because they can only spend it here. Currently, I think we've got about $15,000 in outstanding certificates that are out in the community and waiting to be utilized and spent with our local businesses. And the more that you purchase these as thank yous and giveaways, the more it spreads knowledge of this as a program. We've currently got the ability to go and get spa treatments, go get lunch, go grab coffee, get your eyeglasses, lots of different variety of ways that you can spend Edmunds Cash, and a really easy system. On the website, edmundscash.com, there's an interactive map, listings of the different merchants that do accept it, and an easy way to purchase certificates online. Kind of a big one. We want to make sure that people understand that the Edmonds Chamber does have a sister organization. It's a 501c3, or Edmonds Chamber Foundation. Big focus of the foundation is centered around our Wish Fund, which is when inconvenient stuff happens. It's an emergency disaster fund that helps to step in, cover damages, repairs, insurance deductibles, in that $1,000 range for a business that experiences an unforeseen circumstance. In addition, the Chamber Foundation also sponsors a scholarship and a half at Edmonds Community College, giving a full ride scholarship for 1 year to a student, and then following that with a half ride the second year. And donations to the Edmonds Chamber Foundation, of course, are tax deductible and a great way to continue to support community. The photos that you're seeing in this slide are from the Plum Tree Plaza fire, which happened this September. There's a fire that displaced 19 businesses from a complex up on 99. And it's probably going to be almost till the end of this year before that complex is habitable again. And so the Edmonds Chamber Foundation was able to quickly allocate some resources and try to get some additional donations to give Wish Fund grants to as many businesses in that complex as we were able to. I believe we gave out 5 or 6 in total, or a couple that didn't want to be photographed. And we still do have capacity. We did our best to do outreach, and thanks to other members like Bill Chen, who did additional outreach to try to let them be aware of this as a resource. But as somebody in this community, if you see an instance of a business has got their door kicked in, a tree falls on it, some kind of disaster that happens to a fellow business owner, this fund is there and available. It's not bottomless. We need more donations to make it a bottomless fund. But in most cases, within 2 days, there's a check. And it's able to kind of step in. We've had a couple members who had experienced issues, and we reached out when we heard, and they said, you know what, we're fine financially. Make sure that somebody that needs it can get it. So it's there. The more that people know about it, the more that it can be applied and help. So keep that in mind. So talking about our financials. So coming into 2021, great uncertainty as far as were events going to be able to happen? Where would we be with staffing? Where would we be with anything? Our board passed a very conservative 2021 budget, which, as you can see, really didn't expect any events to happen in 2021, which wasn't unrealistic given everything we'd been experiencing. So we were actually projecting to lose almost $50,000 for 2021. And as we saw, events did come back in some form and capacity, not necessarily with the amount of time we would have liked for planning, but our 2021 did very well. We were able to, like we said, host some of our big events, not necessarily as robust as they've been in past years, but still got them out there. And with the assistance of the PPP funding that we were able to secure, the events and the support of our members, we actually were able to finish the year in the black. So thank you to everybody for the part that you played in that. And, as Omicron and everything else has changed, our board has looked to 2022 as passing another kind of conservative budget with the notion of still being able to produce our events. We're hoping that there's no change in that ability. With some other things like the L&I grants, some funds that we're able to receive through that contract. We're currently projecting a stay in the black at about 2,700 for the year. As you can see, we don't have a massive budget. We try to do as much as we can with as little as we got. And it's a great community. We just appreciate everything that our members are able to do and support through supporting other businesses in the community, supporting the chamber, and just keeping this a robust and active community. What to look for this year? We're going to continue with our in-person and hybrid networking. We just, like I said, put a pause on that, just given the unprecedented surge in cases. We're continuing with our ribbon cutting ceremonies. We just held one last week for Thrive Kids Dentistry up in Westgate. So if you are a newer business or have some kind of big change that's happening, change of location, or haven't had one before, reach out to Erica and she'll get those scheduled. We're also going to be scheduling in and bringing back our happy hour events, looking for some nice outdoor venues closer towards the summer and the nicer months to bring those back, bring some business back to some of our businesses and give you a chance to do some more casual networking. Something that we started just at the end of last year are community updates. Erica's been working on those and bringing a quarterly update from an organization or an initiative that's kind of important to the community. Our last was with community transit, sharing kind of all the changes that are coming with light rail and bus services. And I know we've got those being planned and scheduled. So keep an eye out in the weekly newsletter for announcements on those dates and make sure to sign up. They're currently Zoom based and will probably continue to be Zoom based. It's an easier platform for us to hold those community updates. We'll again try to continue to bring some educational opportunities, workshops, seminars. If you've got a topic, an idea, please reach out, let us know. Our L&I workshops in education, we'll be doing a lot of best practices and tips that we'll be putting out through our weekly newsletter, our social media that are timely for when you need to file certain things or making sure you're not missing out on opportunities or things that could cause a fine. And of course, our chamber produced community events and celebrations are going to be a big part of our 2022. And very much looking forward to smiling faces. Driving through the end of the 4th of July parade this last year was great. It was just amazing how appreciative everybody was that was able to happen. And we're here to continue that tradition. If you don't know, the Chamber's been producing the 4th of July since 1907, which was kind of one of the center points around how the Chamber was formed. So it's only been 3 times it's been canceled, twice in World War II and once in 2020. So hopefully that was the last time I'd ever have to be canceled again. Well, for that, we're going to go ahead and stop the screen share and open it up to questions. If you've got any questions you'd like to ask, feel free. Erica did mention the potential for joining the board. Our normal nomination process is usually in August with interviews in November. We do have, I think, 3 or 4 seats, open positions on the board that can be appointed by the board at any given time. So that is an opportunity, and we're always looking to diversify the experience and representation on our board to make sure that we're tapping into all of our parts of our community and getting good information back and making good decisions.
I think Vivian has a question.
Yeah, I wanted to start first just with a thank you to the Chamber, the leadership, of course, and the staff and the board of directors. I think you guys have done an amazing job of navigating this and not only helped all of the businesses, but really inspired with your own example about being so flexible and willing to pivot. So great job all the way around. We're just so lucky in Edmonds to have you guys as an asset, and we're well aware of everything that you do. When you were talking about the membership, I was just going to share that yesterday somebody was asking me about volunteer opportunities, and they were wanting to maintain control over their schedule, to be able to pop in and out for trips and stuff. And I really think that it might be an opportunity for membership to have all of us thinking about who we know who's either approaching retirement or already retired, who might enjoy the more civic side of the chamber, and join us for those reasons, to be a part of all of those events or the events that fit in with their travel schedule. So since you're looking for building that side of it, just to plant that seed with people, that those would be good people to be bringing that opportunity of membership to, in addition to obviously the businesses.
Well, the shout out to our log cabin volunteers who also came back in 2021. And that group of volunteers occupies and manages the log cabin visitor center, trying to bring information to visitors and locals. That is one of those more regimented volunteer opportunities, but we have plenty of others that have ease and flexibility with schedules. So it's easy enough just to reach out and kind of let that person know to just contact us, and we can find a way for them to connect. Any other questions?
That also regarding volunteer opportunities, that even if folks don't feel like it's the right fit to volunteer specifically for the chamber or chamber events, as I mentioned before, we have 35 nonprofit organizations in our membership, and so we also know a little bit about what others are doing, and maybe can help plug you into other organizations as well.
Agreed. Yuri.
Yes, hello. I just wanted to introduce myself and say hi to you, Greg, and everybody else. We've just moved to Edmonds in November, so there's a lot of things that are new to me, but I'm looking forward to seeing you all awesome people and joining the chamber soon.
Well, welcome, and yeah, if there's any little nuances of the community you need to figure out who to talk to, definitely reach out. Happy to help anyone and everyone. We're not a one that when you call us, we say, are you a member first? We're here to serve and to help, and membership comes through people's experience and their positive interactions and just the community that is around them. And I'm appreciative of the board taking on this project to do outreach to our community. There's over 3,400 business licenses in Edmonds. If you take out, a chunk of that, we're still only a membership of around 400. So there's a lot of opportunity to grow the membership, to connect in and, do our part to facilitate growth and connections.
Thank you.
Well, we ended early. Congrats.
I'm gonna